let's cut the pleasantries. The persistence of fortune-telling in the 21st century is not some quirky cultural artifact. It is definitive proof of a critical bug in the human cognitive operating system. We are looking at a species with a dangerously low tolerance for uncertainty and a desperate need to externalize decision-making responsibility. What we're analyzing here is the commoditization of anxiety and the brain's mechanism of apophenia, the error of finding patterns in noise simply to avoid the caloric cost of processing raw probability.
Okay, I have to stop you there because you are dismissing something fundamental to the human experience as a mere bug. You call it an error. I mean, I would call it a survival strategy. Let's just consider the blood type error found in our materia. We have a subject who lived his entire life exhibiting the precise personality traits of type B, independent, creative, erratic. Then a medical test revealed he was actually type O. Almost overnight, his personality shifted to match the cooperative, easygoing traits of type O. You call that a bug? I call that proof of the tangible power these systems have to organize a person's reality.
But you're proving my point. That isn't mystical power. That is script rewriting and the Barnum effect in action. The subject did not change. He merely swapped the character settings provided to him by an external authority. This proves that humans lack a solid intrinsic self. Instead, they rely on identity externalization to function. The moment the label changed, he filtered his past and future actions through a new layer of confirmation bias, just to maintain the illusion of a coherent narrative. He is an actor who has forgotten he's on stage, waiting for a script update.
But the script, as you call it, it provided him with a framework to live by. It reduced the cognitive load of figuring out who to be in every single interaction. If a system can alter behavior that effectively, does it really matter if the underlying mechanism is scientifically true? It provides a sense of place, a confidence, that raw data just cannot.
It matters because it is structurally identical to rolling a dice to decide whether to eat a hamburger. Fortune-telling is just a random number generator wrapped in a narrative skin to hide the terrifying indifference of chance. You roll a die, get a 6, you eat the burger. That is reality. But you consult the stars, you get a sign, and then you eat the burger. That's just a dice roll with a marketing budget.
That is such a cold reduction. The flavor of a meal chosen by what you believe to be fate or the alignment of the stars. It's fundamentally superior to one chosen by a piece of plastic. The subjective experience of meaning, that feeling that, this is right, it provides a comfort that a cold dice roll cannot. It acts as a valid life hack for happiness. If believing in the stars makes the burger taste better through a rush of dopamine, then the value is real.
That flavor is a hallucination. It is a chemical cocktail of dopamine and self-affirmation used to hack the brain's reward system. You are describing the placebo effect acting as a mental painkiller. The physical components of that hamburger, the lipids, the proteins, are identical regardless of whether a horoscope or a dice roll selected it. The only difference is that the user has purchased a why to go with the what. And if you look at the market structure, the sheer diversity of these methods, stars, cards, palms, it proves there is no single truth. It's a multi-product deployment strategy designed to fit different cognitive biases and serve as a risk hedge for the industry. It's the sale of concept clarity to those looking to avoid decision costs.
You call it weakness, but I call it a survival mechanism for the psyche. The world is chaotic, and it's terrifying. If people need a risk hedge for their own anxiety, if they need to believe that a choice has meaning just to avoid the paralysis of infinite options, then that product is essential. You're asking people to stare into the void of random probability without blinking.
I am asking them to evolve. The existing operating system of reliance on comfort molds and narrative is a survival strategy for an earlier stage of development. The special taste of the hamburger you defend is a lie derived from a need for certainty. This system of self-deception is obsolete. The only rational investment for survival is to discard the AR glasses of superstition. We must accept that reality is a construct of cold, unscripted probability, and that the only true agency comes from navigating that chaos without the crutch of a bedtime story. That is the only way to patch the bug.